2022 is well underway and I saw quite a lot of movies already, and I thought I should just do a quick roundup of all the new releases I've seen so far. Fresh is all the best aspects from films like American Psycho just put into one movie. It feels very inspired even though it has like common tropes of a thriller revolving around a relationship that goes like terribly wrong, like so goddamn wrong to the point where the boyfriend eats and sells human meat. It's not anything amazing, but it's very solid and it's a fun watch. And Sebastian Stan is very good in the film, probably my favorite performance of his since I, Tonya, and I'm giving this movie a 7 out of 10. Moonfall is as stupid and ridiculous as it sounds. The plot to this movie is that the moon just falls out of orbit. It's a Roland Emmerich film. It's another mindless, boring, and uninspired disaster movie by Roland Emmerich that doesn't even do what it sets out to do all that well. Roland Emmerich acts like he's the king of disaster movies and then goes on to criticize Don't Look Up for being boring. At least that movie was semi-smart and tried something different. Moonfall is a 3 out of 10. Death on the Nile. What really surprised me about this movie is that it took a long time to set up its characters and the drama between certain characters and the history. When the murders start to happen and then Hercule Poirot starts solving the murders, it just feels so rushed and speed run. It felt unsatisfying when you finally find out who the killer is. And also, it has a really nice cast and doesn't really take all that much advantage of them. Either way, Kenneth Branagh is like really good as Hercule Poirot, and it's an entertaining movie and it's not anything horrible. It's just a decent time. Okay, I'm gonna give it a 6 out of 10. Uncharted is not Uncharted. It is nothing like the games. I knew this movie was going to be nowhere near as great as the Uncharted games when they cast Mark Wahlberg as Sully and Tom Holland as Nathan Drake. Like, that's like casting me as Iron Man. It doesn't make any sense. Why is Sony so good at literally everything else except their film division is a question I ask whenever they make those Venom and Spider-Man off-brand movies or adapt one of their own first-party IPs into a movie and do such a lame or horrible job. I don't understand why it's so hard for studios to make video game movies. Just hire the same writers as the games and do the same thing. Uncharted is a 4 out of 10. And then I watched The Batman. This is my number one most anticipated movie. It's got some pacing issues and some choices it made towards the third act could have been slightly better. It's not horrible like a lot of people saying it is. I wish it just set it up and fleshed it out more. But then again, this movie's like 3 hours long. But overall, I was head over heels with this movie. The look, the feel, the grunge and grittiness. Robert Pattinson as Batman was all just, everything was just perfect. I'm really looking forward to the Batverse more than any other superhero universe out there right now. And I would say in terms of my favorite Batman films, I would say it's slightly better than Batman Begins. It's definitely better than Dark Knight Rises for me, but it's nowhere near The Dark Knight. Then I watched Kimmy. Kimmy is another solid entry from Mr. Soderbergh. It's no Ocean's 11, but it's meticulous and very stylized, and it kind of reminded me of his other film, Contagion. Zoe Kravitz is like really good in the film, and it's a good time. It's a bite-sized movie, only an hour and a half long, and it's interesting and unique enough premeditated murder mystery thriller. Kimmy is a 7 out of 10. Pixar's Turning Red got way too much hate, but at the same time, a lot of people liked it. I thought this movie was really adorable, and I don't say that a lot. It's a very simple story that I actually found very relatable. I never expected how this movie was gonna go, actually. There are some tropes in it, and it is similar to most, children's animated film, but I felt like that was the whole point of the movie, and it was very tongue-in-cheek and really fun, and I had a great time. I don't know why people really hate this one. It's better than Encanto. I don't know why everyone likes that one and thinks it's like the greatest thing ever, but yeah, Turning Red is not as bad as people say it is. 7 out of 10. And then I watched Adam Project. It's a new Netflix movie directed by Sean Levy starring Ryan Reynolds. The CGI effects in this film look like a video game, and there's possibly one of the worst de-aging CGI deepfake effect I've ever seen. I'm getting really tired of time travel movies, and this movie made me even more exhausted about time travel movies. 5 out of 10. Deep Water, starring Ben Affleck and Ana de Armas, is a bad movie. I normally hate erotic thrillers, and this is just another stupid erotic thriller that thinks it's the greatest thing in the world and it's so profound, and it's just not. 4 out of 10. So yeah, 2022 is going just as I expected, and all the big films are starting to ramp up, and I can't wait to cover them really, and I'm super excited, and I'll see you in the next one.